when Brad Plum first introduced us to Devin Henderson, he said, I've got this kid that does a magic act, and he wants to take it to the next level. He wants to join the club, but we got a problem. We got to bail him out of jail. Well, we did, and we helped him escape to Canada, where he did his one act and became an international star. Truth is, Devin is a former member of our club. He is now speaks professionally, still has a comedy and magic act. He belongs to the National Speakers Association, which is like Toastmasters on steroids. And he's received the prestigious Certified Public Speaking Certificate from that club, which only 12% of all of the national speakers have that certificate. He speaks regularly, weekly, is it still weekly, at the Kansas City Improv Comedy Club. And he lives here locally with his wife and 4 daughters. And if you visit his neighborhood, you can hear him yelling, "Who left the toilet seat down?" Please welcome Devin Henderson.
Best intro ever, man. Thank you. I'm not doing any magic today because I'm a recovering magician. Some other day. So I'm going to tell you the story of how I learned to juggle a soccer ball. I'm telling you this to help you have a fresh perspective when it comes to speech contests. But first, the story. So if you don't know what soccer juggling is, it's this. It's where you keep the ball off the ground using anything but your hands. You can use your knees. You can even use your head if you want. That's soccer juggling. So I'm 7 years old, I'm at a soccer clinic. This Irish coach is like, everybody get a ball and do this. Just kick it once, you gotta learn to control it, right, with both feet. Once you can do that, then you go on to 2. And now this doesn't look good when you're 7, it looks more like, you know, and you're chasing it everywhere. But once we had 2, he said go on to 3. We made it up to 4 that day, and after we got 4, he said, okay, I gotta go drink. So you guys go home and try to get 5. And I took it to heart. I went home and I worked back up to 4, and I actually got 5 that day after a couple weeks, 6, 10, 12, 20. After 4 years, I got up to 250. I'm thinking, I want to get 1,000, right? I just want to go crazy on this. So I needed a cheerleader. I went to Dad, who looks really good in the short skirt and pigtails. I'm like, Dad, I want to get 1,000. Do you think I can do it? And he looks right at me and he says, Devin, you're my son. You can do anything you want to do, except maybe that. Because he is my biggest cheerleader in life, but he honestly thought it was impossible, and he didn't want to lead me on. So what did I do? I woke up really early the very next day. I tiptoed down to the garage before anybody else got up, and I cut the brake lines to his car. I was just messing with him. I couldn't find the wire cutters. So what I did is I kept working on this. Now I grew up next to this huge power plant, which I know explains a lot. Next to the power plant was this big open field where I perfected this, and when I was 15 I actually got 1,259 kicks. When I was 19 I got almost 2,000, and then I put the ball down for a while, didn't kick, because well, I graduated from K-State, became a professional magician, I got married, I had kids, my life fell apart. But then my oldest daughter turned 5 and she started playing soccer, so I wanted to be a good soccer dad, so I did 2 things immediately. Number 1, I bought a minivan. And number 2, I started kicking the ball again. Thankfully, it's a lot like riding a bike, except there's no bike. You know, you can get right back into it, but I got some renewed inspiration. Someone had done 4,000 kicks that I heard about, and it really bothered me. It was a girl. Whoa, that's not why it bothered me. Hey, girls are awesome. Girl power, that's all we make. The reason this bothered me is this girl was 8 years old. So I'm like, all right, little girl, it's on, right? So I'm like, let's do this. So I start kicking. I'm a good dad, by the way. Go away, kids. Daddy's busy. I got to get 4,000 kicks. Now, within about 2 months, I did it. I kicked the ball 4,000 times, then 5,000, then 9,000. Called my friend who knows my soccer story. I'm like, dude, Todd, I got 9,000. He's like, dude, that's sad, Devin. You should stop. And I'm like, I'm not stopping. So I kept going. And about a year ago, I set my all-time high. It took me 2 hours. It was 11,241 kicks. Yeah. But the world record's like 24 hours, so I got nothing. So anyway, I was late to date night that night, and it was worth it because, you know, bragging rights, 11,000 kicks. It was worth the black eyes and the missing teeth. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is not to brag, because seriously, who's going to brag about an addictive personality? Look at me, I'm crazy, right? Because seriously, anybody can do this stuff, right? But here's why I'm telling you this story. There's a thing called soccer freestyle. And that's just taking the juggling to the next level. Like when I caught it on my neck, that's a trick. There's other things you can do in soccer freestyle, like tricks, you know, that take a lot of work, that make the simple stuff look like, you know, cake. And when you work on this harder stuff, it makes the easy stuff so much easier, because if you don't have this kind of control, you're never going to learn like the really good tricks, right? So Toastmaster, this is how I look at Toastmaster meetings. When you get up here and do a speech, you're just going through the normal motions, right? I mean, it's just like this, right? Now the thing is, eventually, is you're going to drop the ball, right? You're going to forget a book title, right? You're going to miss a slide. It's going to happen. We're going to fail, but that's okay. You know, Dale Carnegie said that Dale Carnegie said, failure is the surest stepping stone to success. Failure is what's going to get you from here to here. So it's okay to fail. Now that's how I look at Toastmasters in general. But when I look at speech contest, I look at speech contest as kind of like the crazy things you do. You got to really challenge yourself to do things that you didn't think you could do before in order to take your game to the next level. So I'm just here to tell you, do a speech contest, because it's going to make the stuff that you do on a daily basis, speaking at Toastmasters, talking at work, it's going to make it super duper easy. And I'm going to leave you with this. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Socrates didn't say it. It wasn't Jesus. It was Doc Emmett Brown from Back to the Future. So you know it's profound. Thank you.